Oh, what needless pain we bear. Eh, Mulishan. Eh, Mulishan. Mwalinda Shan. Mwachia kuchechi. Did you go to church? Nina chak chechi. And I'm feeling kind of tired, Around here, going to church Sundays are like it's mandatory to take your family out around here. It's like it's mandatory to take your family out. So yeah, I went out and I was running around, feeling kind of tired, feeling kind of tired. And my wife was telling me, oh, no, just to sleep. But then I was just thinking about Iridia Shdiavena Tasira. Iridia Shdiavena Tasira. I was looking at what is going on, the back and forth messages, between the Mundubile supporters and the Makebi Zulu's supporters. Apparently, the Mundubile supporters have appointed Tasila Lungu. And the Makebi Zulus camp, they are not happy about it. They are indignified about that appointment. They are appalled. They can't just take it. How can Mundubile appoint Tasila Lungu? And how can Tasila accept, this appointment? Palinkondo, kulinkondo, kulinkondo, kulikulira Tasila. They are fighting for Tasila. Mundubile uku, we have appointed Tasila. Uku side uku, awe, Tasila has not accepted. Tasila cannot betray the father. Tasila has rejected. There was even a headline. There was even a headline in one of my papers. Ila Daily Nation ile na alikuwa hata mama shares. Whether balaba mdala barefwana ngutabarefwa na alikuwa hata mama shares mu Daily Nation. Twatampire wonse ila paper. Nifofo aliama sources. Na ulio mkashana ulia tina chikumbi. Chikumbi urishani. Ba chikumbi mwali mfutatira no kumfutatira. Chikumbi Warren, mwali shibelia shimwe. Daily Nation twalikwata mama shares. Ama shares tekwa fati yoka navika mwakanya mpuku hiyo. By the fact that we were one of those people. Wakuma faced the sources that were running that paper. That is interest enough. So much carrying a headline. But from what I've gotten, you didn't speak to Tasida. You haven't spoken to Tasida. You didn't speak to Tasida. Avu ninchecheta mwanishwaenda checheta ndengiramo na fuail kisha finish fletchtik. What is going on that issue kwa Tasida? Tasida's appointment, where does Tasida belong? Does she belong kuli Malukula or does she belong kuli Makebi Zulu? Anyway, that before I get into that, I think what we need to discuss, to look at, is the interest of the Lungu family. That's what we should be looking at. Is the interest of the Lungu family. from Makebi's side, Makebi is abusing the situation of Edgar Lungu. Like I told you from the word go. From the word go, I told you Makebi Zulu is manipulating this situation for his political aggrandizement. Nothing else. Not if you are covered Lungu story, Lungu's wishes. Takwa vefia if you ndemieva. Iyon's story, it's all about manipulating the situation for Makebi Zulu's political aggrandizement. And unfortunately, there are people that believe that Makebi Zulu or whoever it is can actually win 2026 general election. Everything that you saw happening in South Africa was coined or orchestrated with the view of taking over power in 2026. Tapa vefia abapo. Tapa vefia abapo. Vefia kwati yo family, yo the wishes of Edgar Lungu. Tapa vefia onsefio. Everything that happened in South Africa and that is currently happening in South Africa, it's all about politics. It's all about an attempt to get power from Hakainde Hichilema. That is where everything hinges. If you are still believing that those people are still pursuing the wishes of Edgar Lungu, then you are just naive. You are just naive. Bishokwena, even where you are, does it even make sense? Does it even still make sense to say, no, the wishes of Edgar Lungu, the wishes, umuntu alifwa. Umuntu is a Zambian, a former head of state. Ewa muye mushike outside the country. Muye mushike ku South Africa. With the intention to exhume the body and bring it in Gamawina my election. Ushetema politics because each wapo apagawati no tatuashike Mzambia until Hakainde Hichilema akafume mu power, then we can bring the body. Or your issue about Hakainde Hichilema should not be part of the funeral. Bushekwena mufira pangana sensitive. Ngamwa ikala fe wino fe muto mwenu fira pangana sensitive kwati yo mtuka kwate state funeral but Hakainde Hichilema ikasangwako. Or can that be a reason iya kwa wati mwashikiro omuntu ku South Africa, omuntu wali former head of state no kwisa shikula Hakainde Hichilema ngafuma power? Does it even make sense? Nangu mwaliba naive sure. You think about it. Does it even make sense to say no? Hakainde Hichilema ikasangwako kuchiliro ikasangwako ngani finishi tushike ku South Africa ero tukaete chitumbi Hakainde Hichilema ngafuma power. Does it make sense to you? Does it make sense that we have to go 8 months tukakumanya twala kumanya na numba tukakumanya no mwaka? Because ni February kwashara 4 months nishba Edgar Lungu bakumanya umwaka. First anniversary ukufa kwa balungu, first anniversary how are we going to even handle it? Because first anniversary you must be able to commemorate it. So how are we going to even handle the first anniversary ya balungu bachiri mu mochari? How are we going to handle it? Oh, okay, fine, balungu tuwashike ku South Africa. How are you going to commemorate it? Look, Ghanaian president was in Zambia, and you saw that he had to go to Embassy Park to pay his respect to our former heads of state. Nomba kuli balungu ni shikala bashani kula ku South Africa. Umuntu wali head of state ya Mzambia. Abantu ngalefo kumuchitahona ninshikuya ku South Africa. Does it even make sense mwe bantu? It doesn't make sense at all. Whatever is happening here, fyakwa Makebi Zulu. Eto na miebede, palapa festival na rendo kwa chini Makebi Zulu alete mingala to. You, some of you, Mwale, you were busy, insulting me to say, as Makebi Zulu told you. Number with what is happening today. Ushekwena nangu mwali mpata nangu tamfo kusumine fondanda. You don't want to agree with what I say. Haven't you believed what I told you, that Makebi Zulu is staging himself for political mileage? Haven't you believed me? Are you still doubting with what is currently happening? Are you still doubting? Are you still believing Makebi Zulu? Makebi Zulu wanted to tell the Edgar Lungu story. Irene Pili is saying that there's no volume, but I think I can see other people are listening. I think other people are saying are listening. Irene Pili, just check your gadget. Anyway, so it's not making sense, Vane. It's not making sense. Nangu kwena mulafwayo okubantu ankane ukushalila. Even if you are slow in understanding things, you can't see that Makebi Zulu is doing this. Makebi Zulu is playing with this issue. And the one thing that I can tell you is that much as these people, some of these people think that no, tukalete Chitumbi after Hakainde Hichilema from power. I'm sure again on that one, I'm sure you all agree that Hakainde Hichilema tare from power. Hakainde Hichilema is not going anywhere. I have my elections now, yes, and if Monica Fena Filanga, it has shown itself that Hakainde Hichilema is winning these elections. If there is some of you people who think that no, Hakainde Hichilema is losing this power, then I'm telling you, you need to check yourself. You need to check yourselves. If up to now you are still looking at Hakainde Hichilema, you are doubting that Hakainde Hichilema is not winning an election, this election. Whichever way you look at it, whichever way you look at it, Hakainde Hichilema tete alusa my elections. Tete aluse. Hakainde takalusa my elections. Hakainde Hichilema cannot lose 2026 general elections. How tete? Everything in the political books and outside political books. Ne mipashi fie shonzefe mipashi. Isha la. Ne fikolo fionze fie. Will tell you that Hakainde Hichilema cannot lose this election. Even if Hakainde Hichilema wanted to lose this election, he can't lose it. Even if Hakainde Hichilema wanted to lose this election, he can't lose it. He can't lose these elections. He can't lose these elections. So this illusion of saying Hakainde Hichilema is going to lose the elections, elomukalete Chitumbi chava Lungu. Kuibe kwine. Tafipali leko fe no kupali ako tafipali leko fe whichever way tafipali leko kutina mipiturukira mu inshira yonse why Hakainde Hichilema tete aluza my elections ku inshira fe yo yonse fe fyonse fe tapali inshira yonse nga mwapingira okay limbikuti chabe limbikuti as long as Hakainde Hichilema achiri umumi. As long as Hakainde Hichilema is still alive, there is no way he's going to lose that election. No way. Mulelanda wa opposition up to today, mchiri mule donzana. You are still fighting amongst yourselves. You are in total disarray, and you think that because ama elections yale palama August ile palama, you would see that some politicians will start converging, but nix. That's when they are even dividing themselves even more. Iyi February so inatwamba ero February ipi nobody ni yarapwa February, nobody ni February yarapwa. Before we blink it will be in August, time for elections. But moneni ku opposition bachiri baretintana ngani yabo bene bananikane ba given Rubinda busy ukulalanda tapanifo bariranda issuing ama suspensions ama expulsions for what? Who are you expelling? From which party which you don't have? I mean, honestly, what kind of wisdom is that? You don't even have the party. And you are expelling people. Who are you expelling? You are expelling them from what? Ukuvulwa mano. Kudia kuvulwa mano. Kuvulwa wisdom. Who are you expelling? When at this point in time you need everybody. Namashiru yonse, you need them. You need them. Even Chirufatayadi, you need him. You are discarding people. You are even discarding me. Muni pesa nomba, mwashara pesa. How has it helped you? How has it helped you? You need everyone. You are discarding people and you are busy fighting. Where? Who we work in the Ichirima lose power to? Who? And then, even if the opposition was formidable, even if today you identify a candidate, and you have identified Brian Mundubire. Because Brian Mundubire, I mean, by all standards, no matter what you say, I think what the Tonse have done is good. At least they have a leader. Tonse, what they have done, Tonse is good for our country. And I commend that, not from the perspective of to say, no, the Mundubire is your friend, no, Mundubire kudisha mokwisa. Tapari nephew. Yes, he's my friend and I will always say that. I will never depart from that. Muntu, Mulandati, Daddy, you should appreciate. You don't appreciate. No, I'm not an ingrate. I do appreciate people that have helped me. I do appreciate. Brand Mundubire, when really I was going through difficult situation, he helped me. At the moment, we don't talk. There is no help that come from Brand Mundubire. Even when I've asked, there has been no response. But I still give him respect that at one point, that man stood by me. So for that, I will always respect Brian Mundubire. I will always appreciate Brian Mundubire. So anyway, whatever they have done, Kutonse, the ingenuity of Chris Zumani is good. It's a pity that Sean Tembo has left Tonse. Me, I'm telling you, what is this? Sean Tembo, go back to Tonse. Because at least we can have some opposition. We can have some opposition. At least there is direction there. At least you can even see that these people, they are going somewhere. At least they are going to, to show, the value of our plural democracy. Because there is no value in our plural democracy if we don't have the opposition. So we need the opposition. So I'm not talking about Brian Mundubire in this regard to campaign for him. No, I'm campaigning for Hakainde Hichilema. But I am also alive to the fact that we are a plural democracy and we need opposition. Opposition is good. Opposition makes those who are in power to work. I am fighting for Hakainde Hichilema and I'm praying that I can be part of government of Hakainde Hichilema. But even when I'll be part of government of Hakainde Hichilema, I want the opposition to be there. So I am very happy. One day you said BM sent you 10,000. Yeah, Bushende I don't under 10,000. 10,000, no, since I came out, Mundubire has never given me 10,000. Richard Zimba, since I came out, Munduvire has never given me 10,000. I did speak about the time when I was stranded. There was a time when I was stranded. Hotel room, ndala na bakoma. Indala manalipira inashipwa. Vasponsor na bashimia mafoni. Ndetuma, nothing. Abene vasponsor tu wakwati. Batubikisha kofe kwati ni side chick. Ngawala kanava kash. Ero bakwibukishako. Tapali ule asuka. Ero naisa tumina Munduvire. And to mean a 3 pin for me to pay that room. So you Richard the 10 pin and the point. I've never said Munduvire sent me 10 pin when I was out. Yes, when I was in Zambia, Munduvire used to help me, but not those amounts that you are talking about anyway. So you Richard Durera and the 10 pin she shive. Yeah, but anyway, the whole point I'm trying to tell you is that he's a good man, and what they have done in Tonse is very good. However, they cannot beat Hakainde Hichilema. They can't beat Hakainde Hichilema. There is no one who can beat Hakainde Hichilema in 2026 general elections. They can't. They have no capacity. Even Brian Munduvire, he has no capacity. Brian Munduvire takwe tempia. So even you people mweba remu support, you should consider that. Mweba pinanga ine, when you go to Brian Munduvire, know that he doesn't have the money, and support him for the future. Support him for the future, not for money. No, there is no money there. Mweba kweto rupia, fund Brian Munduvire. Fund Brian Munduvire because iliensa kaidi ayala toboroka without rupia. I'm a politics rupia. So ukwa bro rupia iliensa kaidi tapari ko yalaya. But nangu baba mubapero rupia lero. They cannot win an election. They can't win 2026. How they can't win? Kulia Hakainde Hichilema 30. So even if they had the money today, they can't win 2026. They can't. So even if they have got capacity now, they can't win 2026. Then the other aspect is that some of you are even talking about, no, ECZ is doing imingalato, whatever. Ala ECZ twalitemu kuive pesha because na at one point na live pesha. Balaba mawa zalomes balia. I also said things against her, but surely she has proved herself. And if you finto for balungu balelanda, ndef mona nombaka balungu pali bazaromes. I remember very well munganda muri balungu chongoloso. Balungu told me Bazalomesi is a credible woman. Balungu told me that Bazalomesi is a credible woman. And he referred to the time that he worked with Bazalomesi when they were, I think, drafting the Electoral Act or something like that. But there was a team, I don't know if it's a commission or whatever, a technical committee where Balungu worked with Bazalomesi. And he spoke about Bazalomesi based on his experience with her. And Balungu told me Zalomesi is a very credible woman. That's what Balungu told me. He told me. And from that time, I became mild in terms of criticizing Bazalomesi. And anyway, true to what Balungu said, Imwe, you were busy accusing Bazalomesi. You started saying, ECZ is registering people. Is registering people in the stronghold of UPND. That's what you are saying. Remember. And some of you, you were busy. When the register came out, You were the people that started celebrating to say voter registration looks good. Voter registration favors the opposition. The southern province that you were thinking that they are registering people massively, it was not one of the highest. The highest in terms of voter registration was, in the northern part of Zambia, and along the rail, Copper Belt and Lusaka. That's what has come out, and yet you are accusing ECZ to say ECZ under which constitution? You are lying. Finch at Edina Tahila Chikondi Tembo. Without that kind of name, what can you have in your head? Because Ishinafi takes 80% of your brain. Check your history, you will find out. But anyway, electro, and no, should under party constitution, I'm talking about electro act. Now, so bazalome smwaleba bepesha. Yo bazalome zishana shan. Voter registration yafuma mwambo kusekerera ati mwamona. It is favoring opposition. And yet mwaleba ati yo bazalome si bale chita register ama abantu ku southern province. When voter registration came out, yafuminoko. There is also nishi imbia chitike nobody nefiapa. There is also something else that came up. There's something else that you are accusing ECZ. Hey, ECZ. What was that? There's something that came up. I've forgotten. But and even my elections, my elections, ECZ. But my elections, yela fumafe win off. Oko mwapwala la feko mwapwala, you don't campaign well. I mean, mula lusa. But where you do well, mula wina. Kupeta uke mwali wina. Kuchawama mwali wina. You see? Then now you are accusing, delimitation. Barechite mingalata. Iyo delimitation na ifuma. Balevati 70 seats and each province kukafuma 7. I stand to be corrected. 7 constitutions. So where is Mingalatu? Where is Mingalatu? Because others, some of you have been insinuating gerrymandering. But where is the gerrymandering? Because right now, from what I've gathered, is that there will be 10 constituencies from each province. 10 constituencies from each province. And the ECZ has gone out to engage people. They are going to be having meetings in the districts for people to suggest the names, for people to, to talk about the boundaries. I mean, in all fairness, I think Evazalomes must be commended. Mingalato. But really, I think Vazalomesi and her commission, they have lived above board, because in most of the accusations that we have done, ECZ has proved most of you naysayers wrong. They have proved you wrong. So anyway, what I'm talking about is that even in terms of Mingalato, there is no need for a Mingalato. Cornelius Muita said the Mingalato will be in high gear. That is just a psychological opium. Not a psychological opium, psychological drug to daze you. That's all. That is a psychological, drug that he was giving you. Psychological, what do you call? Afita chani chamba. But there's a word I'm looking for. It just, I didn't meet Ale mitinya. There is no mingalato. There is no need for mingalato. There is no need for imingalato. There is no need for imingalato. UPND does not need imingalato to win 2026 general elections, particularly on Hakainde Hichilema. They don't need. And with the credibility of ECZ, this is why I've been saying that Ama independence, Vakafula, with the credibility of ECZ, you will see some members of parliament tumbling. You will see. I think I'm anticipating a free and fair elections than ever before. Mungu Mfwikishap, I'm expecting a free and fair election in 2026 than ever before. Why do I say that? I say this owing to where we have come from. We have had so many by-elections, no issues of political violence. ECZ has delivered according to the way people have voted. So I'm anticipating, and if you look at by ECZ, they have been thorough. They have been diligent in the way they have been doing things. So I'm really expecting a free and fair elections whereby abantu abalefipangatiyo ndimu ruling party nkawina, they will not be able to get it this time around. We are going to have a free and fair election. And that's why our parliament is going to be quite diverse. Our parliament is going to be quite diverse. So, the point is that Hakainde Hichilema is winning, and kuwina kwakwe, he doesn't need imingalato. So those of you who are agitating, yo ECZ, hey imingalato, there is no need for imingalato. There is no need. There is no need for political for electoral manipulation. There is no need. There is no need. No need for political manipulation. Tapari. He can straight. Akawina fi Hakainde Hichilema will just win straight. Clean. Akaiwina. Landslide victory. Bamundu ndewa pera 200,000 votes. Ndewa pera 200,000 votes. Hakainde Hichilema akalopola 7 million chakuti. Ndemieba 7 million chakuti. Unless abantu bavote. Ababambya bashalaba. Awe bakala imapofi. Kabama 0. So there is no need for imingalato. Don't even start getting apprehensive. Yo ba UPND, yo bake bama votsi, yo baka chitarigi tapali. There is no need. Mule chitarigi ama votsi kuli banani na imwe. Mule chitarigi ama votsi kuli banani. Efe mwala churi efe akola chitarigi. Finish mwala churi. Tapali. Hakainde Hichilema is as good as unopposed. So tapali nefi akola timu vale miwepa. Ba ECZ vale te mingarato. Ba isi tapali nefi a mingarato. Tapali. Ero vale randa ti mingarato. Mingarato. We mundu ta ne nsapato sha veyama. Nsapato sha lukungu. Ero randa ti yo. Baka njibira ma vote. Ala. So there is no way. So that there is no need of imingalato. But let me tell you, imagine even if the opposition were strong, UPND is quite experienced in terms of elections. Even if you to say okatingandangwat mingalato, ngakwali opposition yakosa. One thing I can tell you is that UPND is quite experienced in managing elections. So now what mwakosa ngabarefo kuvike mingalato. You cannot beat Hakainde Hichilema or UPND in a mingalato. You can't. I mean, these people have been participating in elections for how many times? Hakainde Hichilema failed how many times? And he came and won an election with over 1 million. Mulemona tukwangala. And UPND, by the way, you have to know, these by UPND, they work with political experts, political and electoral experts. Avena Tony Blair, mula mwali yumfwa Tony Blair shan yuko whatever na banani yuko ku South Africa baba eko mwise mulusa imwe tamwakwata mananikane nama experts abakumichita advice tamwakwata UPND ni science ama elections ya ku UPND ni science ni science ni mathematics imo mwalushire you lost ama elections mwali mu power you lost ama elections muni mu power mwalusa nomba akainde ichirema ali mu power so langu atingane fuati avike mwemingara tokuti mwapusuka so in every way tafile panga sense. Apart from that, let me tell you, muchalo fo chava fie nangu kuti wa wina mavoti so na wina kateko ulipo ngachakwa tarefu kupera power tete akupere power ndemieva mwira ibepa no it's people who vote for what vote we are the opposition and I'm telling you power instrument of power to shift pali bo wile palia it is political what is it juvenile to think that you know abantu nga bakuvotera ntadi achapwa you are being naive big time if you think at yo abantu bakamvotera navomvotera tadi ningwina ma baba tu send the instrument of power pali bobwire so ishirenda tifika chitika it's not possible tafaka chitika efyo but ndefo kumyebo ko bati you know umuntu kuti alusa my elections no kukana fe akana it has happened in other countries where somebody has won my elections instead of going to state house bamuikata balonga instead of ukuya ku state house amu exile yarikosa mwira ive patali it is not easy to get the instrument of power. It is not easy. Tekwa kuisa na mataki, you know, you come with pomp. No. Yeah. You will never get power. That akainde ichidema. Not that he cannot. No, I'm not saying he will not. If he loses, no, he cannot. No, I'm just telling you the reality. Because even sometimes that kind of and therefore, no, I want to whatever. But other people will say, hey, sit down here. Where are you going? Sit down here. You are not going anywhere. You are president. You are going to continue, whether you like it or not. Some of these presidents that continued in power, they didn't want to continue. But they were forced to be there, to stay there. Power te yako angalira ko politics te havana. So in every way, different spheres that you can think of, Hakainde Hichilema is not losing power. Is not. Hakainde Hichilema is not losing power in 2026. So the whimsy ideas of saying, hey, tushike South Africa, then it took us a shikula after 2026. Mule ive perfect at fichtike. So chiria. The best that you need is to discuss that we bury in Zambia. We sort out these, we resolve these issues. Because ukushika walungu mu South Africa, it's tricky. That is another area that we should think of. Ukushika walungu mu South Africa, it is tricky. Very tricky. Even Malukulomu in Makebi Zulu knows this. The government of South Africa and the people of South Africa, you think they want Lungu to be buried in South Africa? Imanga mwaikara futi apo pene muikerefye mulaivepa you cheat yourselves nga mwaikara muletongole mbarara mulenwa kachasu nga mwaikala nga mwachingirira mufye. Bushe, you think the government of South Africa and the people of South Africa want Edgar Lungu to be buried in South Africa? Do you really think that government wants Edgar Lungu to be buried there? They have said it several times. They have said it. Our desire is that the former head of state is given a dignified funeral and buried in Zambia. They have said it at different levels of government in South Africa. They have said it. Even the president sent a minister to Zambia to come and see our president. What do you think they were talking about? And even when he came out, he said it. We want. They can't just come out as a government and embarrass the family to say, but they have been saying it. We want this man to be buried back in his country. So, as much as, yes, courts are there and whatever, but even Yama courts, even Yama judges, nabo bantu. Yes, at the moment this case has gone to the court, to the Supreme Court of Appeal. Even there, even if it will go to the Constitutional Court, kwa bama judges nabo bantu, you think those judges, they will like it to say, we bury Edgar Lungu here? No. Edgar Lungu will be buried in Zambia. That's for sure. Edgar Lungu will be buried in Zambia. We just have to manage the circumstances. We have to manage the impasse. I do recognize that there is an impasse. We have to manage the impasse. And I'm telling you, I am offering myself. To negotiate for you. Kuti mwamone fine ndesa baira yo ndela ndefi, ndanda kwa tinde second whatever, but I'm a very serious man. A very serious man. A man that can win for you. In the Lungu family, I'm appealing to you. I'm appealing to you, Lungu family. Yes, I've said a lot of things and whatever, but I'm telling you, let me negotiate for you. Makebi Zulu is just manipulating you. Makebi Zulu is just manipulating you. Makebi Zulu is using you to push his agenda. I can negotiate for you. I'm telling you, I can negotiate for you. I can leave this country and negotiate for you. I know you will say, no, how can you negotiate for the Lungu family? You have failed to negotiate for yourself. Fiapusana. I'm not a son of the president. I'm not a son of the president. I'm not a son of a former president, so to say. I'm not a son of a former president. I'm not a widow of a former president. I'm not. Tasila and his family and his siblings, those are children of a former head of state. Esther Lungu, she's a wife of a former head of state. Muntwandi pakulu palya. Pakulu. That is big. That is big. You can't compare na natural fatayari yawe. Tamwa ishwa no kwa batata. I heard that where my father was buried, Pafisenge, I heard na maplot wale pera pona maplot. I'm just a nobody, me. I'm a nobody. Nakaka tafe pakanwa. Chapo. I'm a nobody. So to negotiate is difficult for me. To negotiate for myself, to negotiate my cases. But the Lungu family, if you give me that responsibility, nishinanena shukirapo. Makebi Zulu is in the country and working arrogantly. He's not being touched. He's not being touched because of Ichitumbi. Because of Ichitumbi. Ndeni eva na inenga na isa nama bags and kirikiti na isa mkusa negotiate. Barrio ya Lungu. Tawa kanjikate na inenish na shukirapo because one of the agendas that I will put to say, before I land, I will tell them, I'm coming to negotiate for Edgar Lungu's burial. and when I come in the country takuliwa kunjikatamu. Next is we need to discuss imilandusha bamayo ba Esther chikabashana. Next imilandusha kwa Tasila chikabashana. Next imilandusha kwa nanikane Dariso Lungu chikabashana. Next imilandusha kwa nanikane these are the real issues surrounding the burial of Edgar Lungu. Not if Makebi Zulu amivive party. No, we are not discussing, the cases of the family. Fiabu fifidia. Fiabu fi. And in ndefo kumyeva imwe, the Lungu family. I'm telling you the truth. These are the real issues. I can discuss for you the real issues. Not if you have poor fidia at your Edgar Lungu's story, whatever nonsense. If you have poor fidia, if you go tenchito, it's your life. If you go tenchito, at this moment, Valungu bali fokale. And this is the truth. I'm not trying to be whatever to demean the man. No, the man is gone. Even you have got a family. Esther, you have got a family, you have got a life. Tasila Lungu and everybody else, you have got a life. How are you going to live your life? That is the issue that you should be looking at. How are you going to live your life? How are you going to continue with your life? How are you going to continue with your life? Are you going to live a life of somebody who is already gone? Balungu is already gone. So that nonsense of saying, no, Edgar Lungu story, how will that help you? How will that help you? My story ya fear yakwa Makebi Zulu. My story ya fear yakwa Makebi Zulu wants that to prolong. The longer it stays, the longer it stays, it gives a Makebi Zulu more time to campaign. It gives Makebi Zulu more relevance. But what about your life? What about your life? What about your life? Apamoikala 8 months, I'm very sure you have seen how difficult it is to stay out there. You have seen. I thank God that I share your experience. I thank God that I share your experience. So that's why some of these things, but they give us an insight into something that you would otherwise you would not know if you had not gone through it. I have been out here. I am relatively quite okay. Kuno shata kwa malaiti yaleya shani. I mean, even when we don't have money, somehow we look okay. We are okay. We just get up, we just get transport. We go pamo. We start going around to stand ice cream. It's very cheap. Ice cream is very cheap. If you are very cheap, if you are cheaper, you go around, life, quality of life is good here. But at the end of the day, whenever we are passing, they are asking us, you guys, where are you from? And we are reminded, we are not from here. No, we are from Zambia. Apanda furuka ndafuruka isabi didia. Isabi didia grilled fish. That grilled fish ya pambabula. Uledia no tumitoi triumfika no confika. Fisiksafidia, you know what makes that grilled fish from Mateveto? You know what makes it nice? It is karyaka chena kafisikisa karya. Imitoi shidia. Uledia kuline mitoi. Nechushi chankuni chamarasha shile umfuika. You miss that. Muntu wandi. Tiboni yakuno tiboni namashesu shari wama. You miss that. Just that. Ushinguluke wapita kupananikani pa North Mid pale, wapitana ko pa North Mid pale, wamona ko tuba iche shani upitene wako kuchika chani ushe Chicago zoko yaba oko ichiri Chicago wayako pa Chicago pale, wamona ko shani big buyer life yesu ilia life yesu noko kisha kumbi kuli ukwatemo bachongololo kuli ukwatemo bachongololo kuli amkuita chani imwe achani hii club ya vera kuna nikane ku Twin Palm. What is that? Njibukisheni ko granddaddies, yes, granddaddies. Granddaddies. Ngana ishipasa nga ya pasa wa yako pa granddaddies. Eko wasanga utuma celebrities n'abakashibabo shan n'abafwalo twipi waloresha wati t-shirt. If I was not 50 years old, you see, life, you don't think of a win no muntu andidi life. You don't think of a win no le pitana le posha abantu muchibemba muni shani kuri kachepa. Twaliverera fenga diba esta baliverera bali kwata mabala bali kwatofo bachita shani bali ba busy ba esta. I'm sure ba esta tabekere wino kuri abekere kuri. Amabala yabo fira bachita shani takudi bali temo kuri maba esta. Bali temo kuri maba bali temo etoku chita. Mu South Africa she can't do that. Takwaba mabala kuri. Takwaba mabala. Vekere fe munganda. So for all this time vekala fe munganda. Vekala fe munganda te chibaye bapita neko na puna nikana chibaye kuma mo bachite shani gate. For how long will Esther stay like that? For how long? I'm sure Esther would want to have her life in Zambia. I'm sure she would want to have her life in Zambia. Normally, when you talk about Banani Avena Tasira, I'm sure they would want to have her life. Those are Zambians. Tasira, yes, she grew up in America and whatever, but she is a Zambian. Muzambia lichindikwa. Muna nikane mu street ya kwa America nanuka mchindika. Mu street nga inomba pana kuisa na ba ice. Aba abantu bakwa Trump. Bale imia abantu. Bale imia abantu. Kiri ukutaisanga na mwana former a daughter of a former head of state. Akaisange bakale mdonsanya. Why? They can have their life. Uko bada mchita point. Avena mundu. Bada muluila. She has got a political life. She has got a political life. Given the situation, if impasse yaba resolved, Tasira has got a future. Tasira has got a future. Tasira has got a future. Even Muliaka in the Ichilema. That girl can be appointed. No more Chwandi Mwansa. Once they can contribute to our country. They can live a normal life, a happy life, a qualitable life. But because of Makebi Zulu number, na batu balakwa tininkoko esho babikile muchitere. Berekere kwa tininkoko babikile muchitere na bakomako nukomako. Bashinguluka basompa kwa matawa babwekera muchitere. Basompa kwa matawa babwekera muchitere. I don't think that's the kind of life that you want to continue living. Whilst Makebi Zulu umitumfya iyo Edgar Lungu story uyo arelia mango Mzambi. And our mangoes are very sweet. I miss them. Mangoes are very sweet. Me, I've moved around even to South Africa. The mango ya kumyesu yali lowa. Kuno fi mango ko fi ave fi kulu what, but nothing muntu andingo already akwati ni chivita formulate. Uyo ai Makebi Zulu ali pitana ali weda imona mushara na mkomeno akwati ni nkoko. That is not a qualitable life. But you are living that life that you are living in South Africa. For who? For what? Balungu balia. But change mwala konkanishapo. Why are you going to continue living worse than refugees, because na life yandia wapona bwino imwe you are not free ngaba misanga mule pitana ine ndapitana kuno ndapitana. Some Zambians who have come here, they have met me ndepitana imwe ngamwakumanya bakala midabo abantu aba their father is in the mortuary and barepitana. Their husband is in the mortuary but barepitana. So you are worse off than me. You are worse off than me. Mwete timu chitentwanikane ine ndafichanganya nokufichanganya kunokune nafichanganya. Especially nga mwantumina ko balabale ntumina ko twa kuntumina ko mwantumina ko kangwe. Nakashukira. Ndafichanganya nokufichanganya nako kuchankati. Kwali bachankati kuno mdala. Ni Sodoma na Gomora. Sodoma na Gomora. Nomba imwete timpiteko konsekuti. Quality of life, you are not enjoying it. Lungu was a former head of state. You're supposed to be living better. You're supposed to be living better. And given somebody who is pragmatic, your impasse can be resolved. I can tell you, your impasse can be resolved. Just call me. You have my numbers. You have my numbers. You have my numbers. Just tell me. Dad, engage for us. I'm your mbuya. Whatever I've said and whatever it is, you can put that aside. You can put that aside. We go and engage. I'm telling you. I can go and engage. Yarama flat yenueri. I can go and engage. Once ever that navek imwe. Let's sit. But let I enjoy those properties. Let her live a life. These are the real issues, not quality of life. I can go and negotiate. Makebi Zulu tabare mwikata, because Makebi Zulu, if tabare mwikata ala chitefia wupuba because of Chitumbi. Makebi Zulu ala chitefia wupuba such that if it was not in the Chitumbi ngabali mwikata Makebi. Nomba mwanangu wa Chitumbi ali kwa taka immunity. Na inewe ngamwampera nomba mwampera makanomba na ine kukata kana immunity. Teti vanjikate vaka inde ichirema kuti na aya ingira songa ni ku community house. We can agree and I can negotiate realistically, not if you have a fee, if you have Edgar Lungu story, if you have a fee, my issues, it's about your life. How will your life continue? How will your life continue? Ukwabena mnduwele mchita point, but mule Tasila wants, I'm sure Tasila wants to progress in her political life. She just started. She's a maiden in her political life. She was a member of parliament Wapwa because of Ichitumbi. But we shava ayakali. Now she lost that seat. When she could be actively contributing to the welfare of our country and the people. My appointment, I'm very sure. I saw Chris Zumanizimba. Chris Zumanizimba is a scientist, he's a doctor. There is no way Chris Zumanizimba would come and read a paper and say we have appointed Tasira if he had not spoken to Tasira. I am very sure that there is no way Chris Zumanizimba will come and read a name of Tasira Lungu to say she has been appointed if he had not spoken to Tasira. The challenge is, how does Tasira come out and accept to say, yes, I accept publicly, when the family is embroidered in this nonsense, and Makebi Zulu is on the opposite side. So ili ashapa te Tasira whether Tasira is accepting Mundubira's appointment or not. It is the family situation and Makebi Zulu, because Makebi Zulu is fighting against the Brand Mundubira. And it does not work well for Makebi Zulu. It doesn't work well for Makebi Zulu for Tasila to accept that appointment. It doesn't. So it is very difficult. I am very sure where Tasila is. She's grappling with this issue to say, how do I accept this appointment when my family is in mourning? How do I accept when our spokesperson is fighting the person that has appointed me? I am very sure these are the conflicts that Tasila Lungu has. I don't think it is about Tasila has rejected. I don't think so. It is not. I don't believe it anyway. I can't say it's not true, but I'm telling you, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Tasila has got a Facebook page, by the way. Tasila has got a Facebook page where she releases statements. And I'm very sure, had it not been for this confusion, this impasse, had it not been for Makebi Zulu being part of the politics now, I'm sure Tasila would have issued a statement to clarify to everybody what her position is. But she's conflicted. She's finding it difficult to post on her Facebook page and clarify to the nation whether she has accepted or not, or what indeed is her political plan. I'm sure. But why? Because of the impasse. Because of the impasse. Why should that be? Why should that be prolonged? Why should it be protracted when it can easily be resolved? That issue can be resolved in them. Inenga mwampela tayari negotiate for us. If inende moneka cantankerous, I'm telling you, I can negotiate for you, and that issue can be resolved within 3 days. One day na Africa, Mozambique, and I start talking to people in State House. The following day, I will be sitting with Aka in the HDM. Before the end of the day, we would agree. The third day, I will be coming back to you, telling you to say, let's pack our bags. We are going back to Zambia. Because there is nothing if you go back to Shana. It is about the freedom of the Lungu family, starting with Esther. But Esther doesn't want to stay in South Africa. I can bet on that. I know Esther is a very busy woman. Very busy woman. There is no way Esther would want to stay in South Africa. No, she doesn't want to stay in South Africa. She wants to be back in Zambia and continue with her life. The children, some of these, they are professionals. Some of the Lungu family's children, they are lawyers. I mean, we are messing up her career. She was recently just called to the bar. She's supposed to be progressing in her career. But because of the impasse, those people are heaped together like bags of maize of FRA, packed mushed here to South Africa, when they're supposed to be contributing to the welfare of the country. Man, no sense, just because of Makebi Zulu. Mutamfiani Makebi Zulu, call me in. Call me in. I will negotiate for you and I will negotiate for myself. You know, kubika puna never kateka not timbwekere mbwekere kuntuanka. Na putna shukira mo. That will be your payment. That will be my payment. Ngamwampera maka ya kututa negotiate. That will be my payment. The payment that I will get na inenka chitako negotiate utuma cases 20. Tuke kare chapo. And then you can decide whether you continue, whether you go with Tonse or whatever. Life will continue. Makebi Zulu. Ale mirira masukupa mitwe. Makebi Zulu is abusing you. Makebi Zulu is manipulating you. I know that Esther, the issue is, I mean, how do I go back to Zambia when I'm facing these charges? How can I go back to Zambia when Mwarindongere kwa Ibex? These are the real issues. Mwarindongere kwa Ibex. No mbefi naba rubandi bafo. When Esther was put Ibex police station. Lungu stayed outside to make sure that she's released. Now that Lungu is dead, who is going to protect her? These are issues that are preoccupying her. Not if you are what those are the real issues. Those are the real issues. Tasira winengaisa Muzambia. What will happen to Tasira? And all these others, that is their preoccupation. These are the things that needs to be discussed with you, PND. Open the mdala, open the kwa. Must that discuss real issues and you resolve. Not if you have a puwef. Makebi Zulu is taking advantage of the situation. Tasira, you are missing out. You already lost as a member of parliament. You lost because of this impasse. You didn't need to lose your seat. And then what is your future? What is your future? We don't need this. For how long are you going to continue? Because Hakainde Hichilema is there for the next 5 years, maybe even beyond. Maybe even beyond. That's why 2031, you don't know. 5 years Ikurusan. A lot can happen. That constitution is not cast in concrete, whereby it cannot be changed. It can be changed. So it is possible that Hakainde Hichilema can even go beyond 2031. Muke Kalafek South Africa. So, engage people that can practically and effectively look at your issues and resolve those issues. Not if you are Kumakoti. Because at the end of the day, if you are Kumakoti na Vienna, at the end of the day, I'm seeing this case being ruled against the family. How will that go? It won't go well, Mwevantu. Very realistic. But if you're done, yes, I can talk like this. I may not be so felicitous in the way that I bring out issues. But I say the real things as they are. These are the real things that I'm talking about you. I'm looking at your life. How will your life be? Hakainde Hichilema is going to continue. Hakainde Hichilema is not losing power in 2026. For the next 5 years. Even some of you will say, hey, Daddy is not stable. Daddy is not stable. Hey, Daddy, he is going to Mundubire. Kuisa. I also want to come back. Me, I will come back. I'm very sure. I will come back. I'm coming back to Zambia. I will come back. But I'm looking at your issues. Anyway, I've said all this prompted by this debate. Has Makebi Zulu, has Tasira been appointed by Brian Mundubire? Has she accepted or rejected? Those who are busy screaming to say, no, she has rejected, no, she cannot betray, whatever. Murinsoka, you don't care for Tasira. You don't care for their lives. You are pushing your political agenda. But Tasira has got a real life to live. Her siblings, they have got a real life to live. Mayowa Esther Lungu, she has got a real life to lead. Look at that. Abafwa tababuela. The dead are dead. They are dead and they are gone. You have got a life to lead. How are you going to live it? Balungu bali mumocha tabomfana nguchimo. He doesn't feel anything. But you who are sitting in South Africa, looking at each other and whatever, you are feeling it. I know you are feeling it. I know you are not happy South Africa is a developed country, is more developed than Zambia, but I know you wish you were in Zambia. Even me, who is in a country that is more developed, even our mufiaro mumbiumu, our kuma America and whatever, they would tell you that home is home. Just that kulia bala bombako tuchito bale forako kapia. But if they had the opportunity to work in Zambia, like Tasila, because Tasila and the family, those have opportunity to serve in the country. They have opportunity. So even those mufialo, those who are outside the country, who are working different jobs, it's some, for lack of a better word, it's some economic slavery. It's some economic slavery. But if they have an opportunity in Zambia, they would be better off in Zambia. Nalanda, appoint me. And don't think that no, who is going to listen to Tayari? Balangumfwa, they listen to me. And ngana timbe serious, ndaba serious. Ngana serious, ndaba serious. Ngande pepa. If I mean to pray, I pray. Serious. And I tell you, I can crack this deal. I can crack a deal for you. Within 3 days, I can crack a deal, a good deal. Because now I can't if you are real, not if you are going, if you are real, vakateka. Think of it. And I'm very sure Haka in the HDM will be able to listen. Not our Archbishop. Archbishop was beat against Haka in the HDM. Archbishop, these people, unfortunately, Archbishop Mpundu, no, not Archbishop Mpundu, Archbishop Alik Banda. These people, they like it. Alik Banda like this kind of situation. Alik Banda wants to embarrass Haka in the HDM. They want to embarrass Haka in the HDM. They are not realistic. They are not looking at your welfare. In a panonde mieva, whichever way I've said it, I may not be so euphemistic, but what I've said here is the truth. Kuti mwatu mama phone. Kuti mwatu mama phone. Na asha ma phone number. But I was praying for you to come back home. Now I know it's a waste of time. It doesn't matter. You are Piri Randison. It doesn't matter what you think. Who are you? It doesn't matter what you think. Whether I come home or I don't come home, who are you? How does it even affect your life? How does it affect my life by the fact that you wish I shouldn't come? How does it even affect your life? How does it affect my life? But I can tell you, Piri Landison, I will come home. I will come home. Whether you pray for me or not, I will come home. Zambia is my country. Zambia is my country, and Haka in the Ichirema. And the rest, Ishaiba, by the way, that is the goodness. Me, I'm not a corrupt guy. No, I'm not corrupt. Ishaiba. Kulanda vya ndefo ndanda vifinenga ndanga chaku kalipa wantwala ku police, but otherwise muntu andine ndanda vya andefo ndanda most of the times fishing. Hello. Hey, Precious.
How are you?
Fine, Chan, Precious.
Yes, how are you?
Good.
I'm okay. Yes, I want to respond on where you said Tasila she should negotiate. But I always tell you that don't bother about when Tasila. Tasila she rejected. Don't even doubt it. Get it from me. I'm the one
Wakambanae.
She rejected.
Wakambanae Tasila. Wakambanae. Leka nikuuze iwe. Leka nikuuze. Tasira uja. Wakambanae. The question is Wakambanae.
No, listen, but I don't have to disclose anything here. When I talk to her, I did not talk to her. You just know that I'm the one telling you that she rejected. And do expect Tasila, do expect Tasila to stick that law, to join the fake alliance that we don't even know. Because the father, before he died, he instructed, he wrote on his page, all of us we saw. Even myself, I even commented on that page.
Do you know who was writing?
Who knew that there was betrayers? Let's not talk, okay, so that you can listen. You should know. If you are in darkness, may I say that what you are in darkness? And this is why you keep on talking about bad things about Makebi. Makebi is the one who is going to bring truth to the nation. I'm not lying to you. Get it from me. Lungu knew that betrayers were there, but he didn't know who was the betrayers. But we thank God for his death, because now we have known the truth color of those people who pretended to love him. From there, you think like even us who supported him 100%, we can tolerate people to take advantage of Tasila when she's still mourning the father. And this government, if they really wanted Lungu, if they loved Lungu, why did they deny him to go for medical treatment? So which fake sympathy can they show? And you think like us who supported Lungu 100%, us who loved him, me, Precious Inongo Mbieta, we even went to prison for that gassing issue just to save my president. Because my president, he was accused of gassing innocent Zambians. From there, when they came in power, they failed to remove his immunity. What did I do? I gave the information that I was told by the same person who was in their government. That time they were in opposition, and that Muchindu, he was the secretary for Toma constituency, and they know Muchindu. And Muchindu is the one who explains everything. He exposed a lot of things. And some of the higher authorities, they had that information. But when I talked, I looked foolish. From now on, but if you want to talk about Hakainde Chilema, who you are supporting. Forget about Tasira, forget about Makebi Zulu. But Makebi Zulu, if you think like he's a betrayer, it's okay. But us who know the truth about the use, Makebi Zulu is a useful man, is a wise man who is going to bring truth to the nation. So don't be cheated by whoever we said that Tasira accepted that offer. She did not accept. And don't expect her to start now being all over social media. She's still mourning the father. She's a normal person. She's not mad.
Okay, Tuamvera.
You can do that.
Tuamvera.
Especially that Mambokamba Pari Makebi Zulu, Mambokamba Pari Natasira, because he said this is to pain.
Okay.
Lungu died a painful death. And we cannot expect you people to continue deceiving the people of Zambia.
Zikomo.
When it comes to you now talking about the family of Lungu.
Zikomo naiwe Tamvera naiwe. Mutiri paradi ya Makebi. Bye.
So you are going to come back and
bye. And I am Z good. Uja kuti anjipafe no kunjipa yawe. MZ kunkala president. Ni marukula uja. Kutakutoa sando. Hello? 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 You are going to come back and Makebi. Mdala ngayachitikea kwa Makebi ya straight up nomba kutamba fika tuishi nomba mdala nomba te tichitike mdala yote apa Makebi Zulu atuishi akaenda ichile male bwera mwira ibepa no kuibepa. Makebi Zulu ali ukutali sana, ukutali. I will be president before Makebi Zulu becomes president. That I can assure you. Inga kuko ngati mulaini ingaba president before Makebi Zulu. Even ngana ba president ngana fumapo uke sapofuti te Makebi Zulu ngato ati tukonke felaini ukukonka line so Makebi Zulu ali kutali sana mulaini. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Good evening, Mr. Ted.
Good evening.
That's Mr. Ted on the call.
It's you on the call, and it's Tayari on the other side. Please go ahead.
Okay, how is the evening, sir?
You and I, you titrande for 3 4. How is the evening? Eh? How is the evening? Eh? Now when you get I'm a guys vaso. You wonder, could you afford a get if from Tampa? Some of you might if now I get off from Tampa. Yeah? How is the evening? How was the weekend? Those are not questions that you ask. Those are not questions that you ask Pafoni. What do you mean a ghetto? How was the weekend? Means you are boring. Kulando tuma story. I think mfiro kutamboku mifunde fya kufuwa wa ghetto because mune tuchitowu vifwe wakalamba nao. Mune sanganomba awa ichenomba wale isakuli ifwe wale mishaimwe because tamwishwe fya kufuwa wa ghetto. It's a problem. But how is the evening? Yeah, how is the evening? I tell my question if we don't push on. How is the evening? How was your weekend? Why should I tell you are boring chigai? Charlie, you are boring chigai. The check what the vibe. Anyway, Adshan. Stop embarrassing. Uliwacha wechafe uchirandisom. Uliwacha wechafe. Stop embarrassing fish. Ule mwana kwati na yoli muntu sana. I'll stop praying for you. Kaviyo. Kule mwana alo iwe chirandisom. Na desa de takumfo kukumfu. Kaviyo. Nikaba nto vale mpepela. Not iwe. Mwansa Chisunka. Guys are like, how is the evening? How was the weekend? Why should he's a useless guy? Takwata vibe. Yeah. The dancer was Chirishan, tamkwete phone number. Tamulesuminisha tinka we negotiate waba Lungu family. Don't you agree? Don't you think I can negotiate for them? I can negotiate for them proper mndo andizo. Proper, not if you are chave fi. Whatever. Lungu story. Fia upuba fe festa fi kwete nenchito. Inchito, iria Lungu family bakekala shani. How are they going to continue their life after the departure of Edgar Lungu? How are they going to continue? That is the issue. That is what should be discussed. Not if you are mwalimu kanyokuya ku hospital, whatever. I mean, Lungu will never come back. Lungu will never come back. Lungu will never come back. You can say whatever you want. Lungu will never come back. You never come back. The issue is imwe. Mwewa shala. Mwalaika la shani. Apono mba mwamba nukula taika ba pule. No, she has rejected. Kuisa we pule. Have you spoken to Tasira? What about Chris Zumanizimba? Do you think Chris Zumanizimba alipena to just come up and say, we have appointed this woman? No, she can't talk. She can't come on social media. Yes, you don't want her to talk. That's why you are talking to her. You are lying. Hello?
Hello, Chirikatari. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you. This is me. I'm now becoming one of your regular callers. I'm calling from Deke Township here in Dola. Definitely, you will come back to Zambia. Just a matter of time, Chirikatari.
I will. I'm a Zambian.
Be able to come back. This is your country. You will not be there for the rest of your life. It is just a matter of time. patience, space, take your time. You definitely come back here. But having said that, I know you can be a very good negotiator in an event that you are given that opportunity to negotiate on behalf of the Lungu family. Now, the challenge that I see here is that, these people, the Lungu family, up to date, they have not yet officially lodged in an appeal in the South African Supreme Court. And today is the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. Meaning, up to 11, if they do
but
not...
Meji.
I can hear you.
Muzimvera naimwe. Muzimvera. Don't just call and mislead people when I've even discussed this matter. I discussed, and it's you who raised this point. And I discussed it, extensively explaining about that situation. And you are coming back with the same narrative to say they have not launched an appeal. I mean, you are totally wrong. The appeal has already been launched. The appeal has already been launched. The only thing which Bakabesha spoke about are the submissions, which means the grounds of appeal. The appeal is already there. It was rejected at first, but it was appealed against, and finally the appeals court granted them that they can appeal. So the appeal has been launched. What Bakabesha was talking about is submissions, the grounds of appeal. We are appealing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Bakabesha said they have up to 11th now. 11th is Wednesday. And there is nothing wrong in filing submissions even on the 11th hour. So there is nothing wrong even for submitting submitting those grounds of appeal on Wednesday itself in the evening before the court closes. If they can file in, there is no problem. So that narrative of saying they have not, that one, Tivareko, tieni tizikamba, Valungu family, Bazankara Bwanji.
I hear you loud and clear. Now, allow me to take this opportunity and appeal to President Hakainde Hichilema, who is in South Africa. He must try everything possible at his disposal and meet the Lungu family so that this issue can have a closure.
On that one. Because this is the narrative that some people have been saying, no, President Hakainde Hichilema should have gone to South Africa to meet the family and whatever. You have to also understand that Hakainde Hichilema is a state institution. State institution is not an individual like you and I. Pamena ariri uja Hakainde Hichilema. Even kwenda chabe, even if I'm just saying, just for people to understand. Even if Hakainde Hichilema is a girlfriend in South Africa, South Africa, to see that girlfriend is not easy. It's not easy. Africa, South Africa, so get wake and South Africa. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he has. But just to see him, why is it difficult? Why is it that it is difficult for you and I to see the president? Why is it difficult? Is it because Hakainde Hichilema doesn't want to see us? No. Hakainde Hichilema is an institution. Is a state institution. So when Hakainde Hichilema is moving, even to go and see Esther Lungu, hey, it's big, one. It's big. Even if he wanted, he want to see. And like I've given an example, not even by Esther Lungu, I've given an example of a girlfriend. Kuti Hakainde Hichilema muone muntu wanga. It's difficult. That office is very difficult because the people that who are coming to see you must be cleared. The people that the people, ni brother wako so muntu, afika pagete, no, I want to see Chulfatayadi. Mdala, if that person has not been cleared, you cannot go and see the president. It's very difficult. It's an institution.
Okay.
So we should not simplify things so much to say, no, hey, we take presidents very simple. We take presidents very simple. I'm taking advantage of your question, to talk even to some of these other opposition who have been saying, no, Hakainde Hichilema should have done this. No, that one is an institution. And whatever he does must be according to that institution. Even the diplomacy.
Oh, yes.
Vakapokola vafunika vaendako kuti. Manje ku South Africa tina vakapokola. Tilibe vakapokola.
Okay.
And the South African government might even say uyu muntu is under protection. Manje mukaendako kuja kapena muzawa paya, kapena muzachita chani, it is complicated. It is not as simple as that. It is not as simple as that. The people who talk like that, Monga Kalaba. Kalaba is so ignorant. Hari Kalaba is so ignorant. He thinks he knows. But the guy is so ignorant. He simplifies his things. If it was me, I can do this. If it was me, you just see that Uyumuntu, they don't know what we call statecraft. There is what we call statecraft. Statecraft, you can't just do anything as a president. You can't. Monga ijameni wanatenga phone wandani waja. Ba Sean Tembo. Wafakana nani kane malive na mafoni. Batenga phone. I'm calling the president. Really? Really? The president, you just see that you see that they don't appreciate the presidency.
You last wait. Are we together, Chirfatari?
Yes.
I just want to address Hari Kalaba. He's been in government. He has served as foreign affairs minister. But the kind of politics that he is doing rather kindergarten politics.
Okay, you were just to see him. Okay, Miss Jen to see. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Terry.
Good evening.
Yes, the other day your callers insulted the hell out of me.
Ati?
I'm saying the other day your callers insulted the hell out of me.
Did they?
The time I was talking about the dollar, the price of the dollar. And
But manje na iwe ulinaka mtima kopepuka na iwe. Nkani za the other day ukalinazo wazisungirira even in me unanitumira ka message ukali kukambapo muntu wanga mvera leka nikuuze when you come in the public monga ifoni amene uchaya hapa ni pa public bantu bamene bamvera ni bambiri a lot of people that are listening and you can't control mvera leka nisilize na iwe mvera I want to tell you, Mvela, you should listen. Wait. Nizakujuba uzasala chikubaba kumtima. So leka nikuuze first. Ukabwela pa platform. When you come on the platform, when a public platform, what you say, you should be ready for people to say whatever they will say. They will call you are not educated. They will call you are down. They will call you Vela. They will. No, let me tell you. They will call you whatever it is. When you come in the public domain, be ready to be told all sorts of things. Be ready. Even me. Look at how many people. You can't control what people think of you. You can't. If they think you are a fool, you can't control that. People think I'm a Mushanina Walie. That they don't feed me, and I allow them. So even you, Kabula, public fora, don't expect that I'm going to control everyone to say no, musakambe hivi. Let people express themselves.
Mr. Tahari, I feel like this platform, Mr. Tahari, a lot of people are calling.
Yes.
And people have divergent views.
Yes.
And each and every topic that you're going to bring up, people have divergent views. But at the end of the day, let not people call and say, oh no, that guy from the USA, I think he's a failure.
na kamtima iwe.
If you talk about Mr. Terari, if you say I'm a maid here, if you say I'm a maid here, do you know what it means?
What's the problem with being a maid? What's the problem with being a maid?
A maid, the salary that is getting here in the USA, even the president cannot pay that maid there.
No, mamene wambo kamba ni ignorance yo.
Okay. I feel like these guys need to respect maids that are working in the USA. I think it's very important. But then coming to the topic of Makebi. Yeah. Coming to the topic of Makebi, I feel like the former first family will not negotiate with the government. They are not ready to bend. And what will happen, because the government has a target, they have to bury ECL before the August election. So they're just going to bury without the family. I think that will definitely happen. The family will not participate in that burial. I'm sure for that, because at the end of the day, they'll keep on fighting, thinking like Makebi Zulu will have a party and win the election, but that might not happen. So let us be ready to bury here without the family.
Okay, Mwana, thank you. Hello? Hello? Guys, sana mbele bwino. Kumuza ati ndimo mameds. Hello? Hello? Naimwe muzika mbako bwino. That's why mnaka muntu mgazi sana mbele bwino. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mwabombeni watari.
Yeah, mkwae Mwabombeni.
Yeah, mkwae. Tuansefa mulela ndawatari. Filife wino. Nomba ine techinkonde mewa kateka jimo. Tali mukonde masana. Kuipintungurushinga sarona de sarava. So, lelo nga isla. Naliwe ya shupa. Kuri understanding yenu afyo mulela ndase filife wino numba kai badini limbe alaba ya rastu kuranda kupali dijia badini ashiba tayari ndebe waliasi sana eri ashindi no wali ba mali ashia mwana kwebati ketu muyabike na pamuera nangu barangwe ne ba family ba rungu ketu ba ke direct pamuera na wantu wao wanangwe president na bena ketu ba ke answer direct wantu wao ili ashiria ba rungu oya ashiri kuru lyali kosa nisafyo mwine ewinda kwa batayali ndera ndamuti ulonga taturi sana kea to alenga ncharo chensu cha chite that's why na mliwaka take off bako sera kwa dawe barete pote ba kuyokushika bajero kwa ashiria ba rungu mwandi nyoko nyinganganya kwa ntaturashika techi ndani fingi pati chimbecho ningaranda pe spiritual yali pichirira sana korona abantu abamato muzambia bali kwa tomu flori takwa wana bashimatu kwantu ngabaji kitirapo fast no kupepera po nemitima shawe shawe ubu watia ngabwadi kwa kubantu babajiji wakateka na nuruko rwabarungu otherwise before ningalanda rwatari teti ndande nipamwera pano patiri likuru lyali kuzenkana sana na wabene yangu ba Makebi zuri umureba rungura Makebi zuru achefu teta solve problem we nderanda mutine watayaki indipya ankwika huzira ngo tinakora mina bazifya bapo tina randa na ngwati semu pamwana wa mfumu ichini mfumu ishukuru process ya mfumu tuma mwana to mfumu ba mshika uke mfumu ngayapo waga ba mshika batwali baba chike mfumu tete baranda na masiki toko bashaka kushika mfumu abantu kumona kose cha kwa bati kunsi That's why now we back at take and I'm a phone to Majandra, which is up in what. In an eye, if we are to take him for a piece of tape. But one thing I started translate Aratora Munshain because by the Sirio Queva Kateka and after 50 cup of Hingi. No more you and the fee, which is a good to them. No banda laugh from shed. Process Yankan, the Papa one shift. Kaumbeka, Tiarete, Bimpas, and one apart. For the church, for the church, the Capo Chava. The Lava is not spiritual life. But you also quit up our pain. You say, I got a mariage. Yeah, the Korakoria is finding what I want. No good in Naranda.
Okay, not that. Okay, not that. Anyway, you know, there are issues of belief. There are issues of belief. There are issues of superstitions and whatever. But anyway, at the end of the day, must beliefs, must superstitions and whatever. You know, there is a real life here. And the real life at the moment, whether spiritual, whatever, at the moment is that the Lungu family are stuck in South Africa and Chitumbi. That is the real life. That is the real life. They are stuck in Chitumbi in South Africa. Makebi Zulu is campaigning. That is the real life. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Mawomben.
I'm quite Mawomben.
Yes, Mawomben.
I'm quite.
Now, when I win. Never come and in the fire, Chitepo, Nandepo. You know, one thing I've noticed is people, we need to understand. Quietness means consent. The Lungu families have been quiet. Or whatever Makebi for Alanda, Epicongo. Then two, you know, first, Namakonga Montela PF, they were supporting and really excited concerning South Africa, whatever was happening in South Africa. But later on, after now there is notice to put politically it is affecting them. Now, if you've noticed, everyone is quiet, because there are a lot of division. So, society, Makebi number, na family. So, from my understanding is, Murupa Murimonte, Wadipero Mchinch, ama family zoko tuku. Mwana kashinga upwa, kwali wolupwa, infanga ya chitika, family ya kucha umeile. But teacher Dabusha hapana ngwa premati wa president. We haven't seen the family. Makebi is a spokesperson. But we haven't seen the family figure. Awa umemurupu, mwali wawa umemurupu, awa kumushi, kula wawa umewa sangomita, na wachikala. We've never seen such people. What then everyone is quiet. Those guys are comfortable sitting in South Africa, thinking that, you know, you can handle a situation of politics, which is not right. What you're trying to somebody for? Imwe na inenga tu hapo sana pawe mpo pakati kesu. Olote ine mfuire mepi kumpokwa ndukuli wapi. Ine shitingine na time. We should still sit down and show what we shanya mchile bencha tukwate ya kuwe shanya pamo. Otu ingalandi shanya no later reconciliation. The other thing, you know, one thing I've noticed, these politicians to undertake reconciliation, but deep down their heart, they don't involve their heart. When a decision you involve your heart, there is impact in something. I think we make decision that can bring peace to both sides. But there's too much selfishness from the Makebi side, and people will think that we can gain, you know, political a victory over this thing. Then
just in conclusion,
can bring case in the country.
In conclusion,
Hello?
In conclusion,
this thing will bring case to the country. This thing will affect our decisions that are wrong. This is a simple decision. It's not the first death in Zambia that we've experienced. Let them just be sober, to ashika, to moving and forward. I like what you're saying. After Lungu's death, there is still like, those are the things we should concentrate to. They don't think that they'll be sustained like this. Abantu alanaka. They will due, but after election, that's what I wanted to contribute.
Thank you. Indeed, especially after my elections, because, okay, fine, you can be insisting, Shan, because my elections, they will come, and you will lose my elections. So, no matter what, lose my election, then what? Then what? And for me tonight, I'm really addressing the Lungu family. After my elections, Mwalusa, then what? But Makebi Zulu won't even be anywhere near. Hello? I'm quiet.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm one of your serious followers, and most of the time I agree to your broadcast. But now, I get worried when you keep mentioning about this Malukwa thing. He is not going to take us anywhere. And you see, he has even qualified to be a Malukwa, because he comes back to Zambia and now he's even showing a hammer in his hand.
You know how the spirit works, You know how the spirit works. Who chooses a hammer as a symbol? You know? Who chooses a hammer as a symbol? A hammer is a symbol of distraction. A hammer is a symbol of, especially that hammer, it is to destroy. That is a hammer of distraction. And he chooses that as the symbol.
And I grew up from a rural community myself, and we were told that in a mortuary, most Maluka uses a hammer.
Yes.
I'm told there are even some myths or some belief to say some people would wake up in the mortuary and the Maluka would use the hammer.
Yes.
And he comes back to Zambia, he uses the same hammer.
Yes.
He's holding the same hammer. I don't know. So to me, if you keep mentioning his name, it's like we are promoting him. He's nothing. I can assure you, he's not going anywhere.
No, you know.
Wasting time, wasting the nationalist time, the Lungu family, busy misleading them. How do you want to inherit someone before you bury that person?
Imagine.
Humanity in Zambia, according to our tradition, all tribes in Zambia, I believe we respect the dead most. Let him go back there, negotiate for the burial of Edgar Lungu. Let's bury him. Who told him first in the first place that Edgar Lungu cannot be buried? Cannot be buried if HH will be there. Who told him that HH has been claiming? Did we hear anything from HH to say, no, you can only bury him when I see his body?
Imagine.
At some stage, I've heard the Kabesha mentioned it several times. Who told him that that's what he wants? What HH wants is that man to be buried here because he's been a former president.
Yes.
I will not tell you where I come from, but if today I die, they'll still initiate where I work from and start pushing me to say, let's send him back to where he comes from.
You see?
So that he's buried there next to the father and the brothers and sisters. Why should we leave him in South Africa? Why should we leave him in whatever country? That's total madness.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this going on. Or they'll waste time, or even during campaign, they'll be moving around and say, look, we have not buried who has caused that burial to fail. That's totally useless. You are doing a good job. Keep doing it. I can assure you, you keep that momentum. But don't continue mentioning his name. You feel like he's a big person. Thank you very much.
No, listen, my brother, before you go, You see, there are times when, you know, we avoid mentioning certain names because we don't want to promote them. But there are times when you have to express, when you have to show the foolishness in people. So that, because Makebi Zulu is busy campaigning. So if I don't talk about him, there will be people that will believe Makebi Zulu. So I need to also talk so that I can show people that this guy means nothing good for our country. He is just a selfish guy who would leave Ichitumbi mu mortuary, a body in the mortuary, and comes back to campaign. That is who Makebi is. And I need to tell people that. I'm glad you know that the guy really doesn't mean well for the country. But other people might think that this guy is the real deal. Yeah.
He has made the Esther Lungu, this Tasira girl, to think that the means, he wants to do whatever rituals. That is useless of all.
Yeah, no.
So, okay, for example, if he wants to use his body for rituals, is that going, or how is it going to save Edgar Lungu to wake up, to rise from the dead?
Yeah, imagine.
That's my question. No. That's the end. The story is, that's the end.
Yeah.
Rituals, no rituals, is he going to rise?
The man is gone.
No rituals, is Edgar Lungu coming to campaign in Zambia for them to win an election?
Yeah, no, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, Chani, Hakainde Hichilema is already president. And if Hakainde Hichilema had that juju that you talk about, if he had that juju, I mean, you would have done that juju so many times when he was failing for those elections. I mean, he was losing elections. If he had that juju, he would have done that juju, to become president. Okay, Hakainde Hichilema come and do whatever juju on Edgar Lungu when Hakainde Hichilema is already president? And how can Hakainde Hichilema do whatever juju on Edgar Lungu when Edgar Lungu is already dead? He should have done that when he was alive. He should have done that when he was alive. That it doesn't even make sense to you people. I know, juju. You people. Anyway. Let me go and sleep. Let me go and sleep. Thank you very much for watching. But to the Lungu family, I can negotiate this deal for you. Or if not me, find people who are practical like me. Not people who have got some ulterior motive like Makebi Zulu. Not even that Arik Banda bari mupataka in the Hichilema. He has got issues. Those are not people that can negotiate for you. Find people that can look at your welfare practically. Hello? Find people that can look at this issue practically, that can look at your life. What is at stake now is your life. That is what is at stake. It's your life. But Edgar Lungu is already gone. He is already gone. It is your life. How are you going to go on? Find the people that can practically, realistically look at your issues. I can look at your issues. Just give me a call. I'll start negotiating and I'll be giving you updates. And I'm very effective. I'll give you results. So, you'll be back in Zambia and you'll be enjoying your life. Not if you Makebi Zulu. Anyway, good night for now. Good night.